signs that the bombing of Iran could be coming very soon. Number one, it says a second U.S. aircraft carrier is being moved within striking distance of Iran. This is happening now. All right, they have those what's it called, the B-12 bombers or something like that. They're surrounding that region of Iran right now. Okay, it says number two, it is being reported that 6 B-2 bombers have been deployed to the base on Diego Garcia. This represents 30% of our entire fleet of B-2 bombers. It says B-2 bombers, number three, B-2 bombers that have been deployed to the Diego Garcia are being left out in the open so that the Iranians can see them. See? It says number four, negotiations with Iran are scheduled to begin this weekend. The New York Times is reporting that the Iranians are expected to reject President Trump's demands, right? Because nobody's scared of Babylon. All right, that's Joel. Let me get that too. All right, just thinking about that. That's Joel, the third chapter. All right, this is Joel 3:9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty man, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. All right, so these nations are ready for war. They're not going to back down. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. See? So these nations are not backing down to Babylon. All right? They're preparing for war just like America's preparing for war. Assemble yourselves and come, all you heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord, YAHAWASHI. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of YAHAWASHI, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So the Lord is getting ready to judge these nations. These are the preparations of war. All right, finishing it out, it says, number five, President Trump is warning that if negotiations with the Iranians do not succeed, it will be a very bad day for Iran. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is openly telling us that a military strike on Iran has almost become inevitable. See? Number seven, now that Trump is in the White House, the Israelis believe that now is the optimum moment to deal with Iran. And number eight, it is just unverified. It is just an unverified rumor at this stage. But an Iraqi journalist named Basim, I can't pronounce the last name, is alleging that the United States, the United Kingdom, and Israel have decided to begin a bombing campaign within the next 7 days. Boom. All right, so what's happening? All right, let's get that again. The least of the flock, right? This is Jeremiah 50:45. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord, YAHAWASHI, that have taken against Babylon and his purposes, that he had proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. All right. So again, okay, America and Israel are going to get hit. Okay, they're going to be taken down. All right. That's the report. That's prophecy. Right. So let's play this video too, just to add on. All right. This came out yesterday. It's from Redacted. War with Iran will kill thousands of Americans and the U.S. will lose. Tucker Carlson.
Well, the biggest story in Washington right now is that neocons are pushing President Trump into a war with Iran. Former UK Ambassador Richard Dalton said this morning that the threat of war with Iran has never been higher. Watch.
How seriously do you take this from President Trump?
I do take it seriously. The risk of a war between Israel and the United States on the...
Bear with me, let this pass.
and
of war with Iran has never been higher. Watch.
How seriously do you take this from President Trump?
I do take it seriously. The risk of a war between Israel and the United States on the one hand and Iran on the other has never been higher. And that's because it's been Israel's aim for many years to strike Iran, and they've always wanted to attract the United States to their side to do it because of limitations in Israel's capabilities, particularly in sustaining a long war. This is chiefly about weakening Iran as a state. Iran.
Yeah. So doing Israel's bidding, that's why Benjamin Netanyahu was in Washington yesterday. Neocons would love nothing more than carrying out Netanyahu's fantasy of destroying Iran. Well, Trump may have just thrown a monkey wrench into those neocon plans. Just yesterday, Iran was, of course, brushing off the idea of sitting down with the United States, saying direct talks were basically pointless because, according to them, Washington can't go 5 minutes without some sort of a threat of military action, which is actually true. We like to do that. But then fast forward to today, and then suddenly the script is totally flipped. And just wait until you see Netanyahu's reaction. It's priceless. On Monday, Donald Trump dropped a surprise announcement that high-level U.S. officials will be meeting directly with Iranian leaders this coming weekend. And they've actually, Iran confirmed this and actually released the date and time of where this was going to happen. Not through a proxy, not through Israel, but directly talking to Iran. He made it clear that the nuclear issue is still front and center, saying flat out that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, even though Trump's own intelligence community says that Iran's not developing a nuclear weapon. And Tulsi Gabbard in front of Congress confirmed that on the record.
And Barack Obama spent 8 years trying to prove it and never did.
Never could.
But sanctioned them to within an inch of their life.
So watch this. He admitted right in front of Netanyahu, and watch, he said, we're going to be holding talks with Iran this weekend, direct talks. And I don't know, this looked like a total blindside to Benjamin Netanyahu. Watch Benjamin Netanyahu's face when Trump let the cat out of the bag. Watch.
We're having direct talks with Iran, and they've started. It'll go on Saturday. We have a very big meeting, and we'll see what can happen. And I think everybody agrees that doing a deal would be preferable to doing the obvious. And the obvious is not something that I want to be involved with, or frankly, that Israel wants to be involved with if they can avoid it. So we're going to see if we can avoid it. But it's getting to be very dangerous territory. And hopefully those talks will be successful. And I think it would be in Iran's best interest if they are successful. We hope that's going to happen.
He looks like, you ever see that Will Ferrell character where he's like a cat with a ball? He's like it's just like Benjamin Netanyahu's face the whole time. It's really weird.
You know, in him saying, look, Israel doesn't want a war with Iran, and Netanyahu's like, I do. I've always.
He's like, don't speak for me.
This is the thing I've wanted my whole life. I will want for no more as soon as I get this. But it occurred to me.
Yeah, so, you get it. You could watch the rest of this on your own, man. All right, so, hey, this thing could go down this summer, Lord willing, this year, wherever the case may be. But we understand that the least of the flock should draw them out, and that's exactly what's going on as we see it. Israel is drawing America into this war with Iran, which is going to initiate World War III. So, again, man, all these things tied to the end of this place. We are at the end of the road. All right, we're here. There's nothing else to be said, man. It's the time of the Lord's judgment. Shalom.